When she disappears for months and you hear nothing but silence, brother, your mind starts building stories. You picture her laughing somewhere new, free, untouched by what you shared. You replay old moments, searching for where it all shifted, wondering if she ever thinks of you at all. But here's the truth. Her silence isn't peace. It's a mask. It's a battle between pride and memory, fought behind a calm face she wants the world to believe. A woman's quiet after leaving isn't absence, it's performance. She's not healed, she's hiding. She scrolls past your name pretending she doesn't care, yet her chest tightens at every reminder. She posts more, smiles harder, stays busy, because motion feels safer than meaning. But late at night, when her phone glows and no one's name appears, that's when her strength starts to fracture. Silence, brother, reveals what distraction hides. And here's where most men lose themselves. They break the quiet first. They text, they explain, they chase closure that never comes. But the man who understands silence knows this. What looks like her control is often her confusion. What feels like your rejection is actually her test. So before you react, breathe. Let her silence play its part, because it's not the end of the story, it's where the truth begins. If you're ready to understand what her silence really means, start this journey now. And as you listen, ask yourself, would you break the quiet to feel seen, or master it to be free? 1. Her silence isn't the end, it's the test. Brother, when she disappears for months, it shakes something deep inside you. You start wondering if that silence means she's moved on, if she's finally done with the story you both wrote. You replay the last conversation, analyze every word, searching for signs you missed. But here's the truth most men never see. Her silence isn't closure. It's curiosity wearing armor. It's her pride hiding her confusion. At first, she pulls back to feel powerful. She tells herself she's in control now, that she doesn't need to know what you're doing or how you're living without her. But beneath that confidence lies a question she can't silence. Has he really let me go? She's not ignoring you because she's at peace. She's testing whether her absence still stirs something inside you. Her silence is her way of asking, do I still have control? But here's the paradox, brother. Silence tests both sides. The longer she hears nothing from you, the heavier her own thoughts become. The quiet she once called freedom starts turning into uncertainty. She begins to wonder if you've truly detached, if your heart has moved on, if you've finally found peace she can't disturb. That thought haunts her more than losing you ever did, because for the first time, she feels what you once felt, the weight of being unseen. And this is where your strength is forged. Most men panic and reach out just to feel noticed again, but the wise man does the opposite. He stands still. He lets the silence do its work. Because silence, when carried with discipline, becomes a mirror. It reflects who's truly grounded and who's still searching for control. You can't influence her thoughts, but you can master your own. You don't chase clarity from her. You create it within yourself. So let her silence test her, not you. Stay calm, stay centered, stay focused on your peace. Because one day, she'll realize your stillness wasn't indifference, it was strength. And when that moment comes, when she finally sees she can't shake your composure, that's when the power shifts without a single word. And brother, that's when she starts missing not your presence, but your peace. 2. The illusion of moving on. Brother, she'll show the world she's fine. You'll see the smiles, the new outfits, the group photos from nights out, all carefully curated to look like freedom. But deep down, that's not liberation. That's resistance disguised as confidence. The truth is, she's not escaping the past. She's performing strength for an audience. hoping the act convinces even her. At first, her pride becomes her compass. She tells herself she's over it, that walking away was the right decision. She convinces her friends that she's finally found peace. But late at night, when the noise fades and her phone goes quiet, the silence betrays her. Because every time she suppresses a memory, it presses harder against her chest. Every time she scrolls through old messages but doesn't open them, her illusion of freedom cracks a little more. The problem isn't that she stopped loving you. It's that she never learned how to love without control. She confuses independence with detachment. She calls emotional avoidance growth, when it's really just fear in disguise. During the day, her pride says, "I'm fine." But when she lies awake at 2 a.m., her soul whispers, "Then why does it still hurt?" That's the moment she realizes peace can't be staged. It has to be earned through truth. And brother, here's where most men fall into the trap. They try to save her. They see her mask slipping and feel the urge to comfort, to reach out, to remind her of what they had. Don't. That's not your battle to fight. Her pride built this prison, and only she can unlock it. You can't teach peace to someone still addicted to pretending they don't need it. Your only job is to remain still in your truth. Live quietly, live fully, and let her face the silence she created. Because the Stoic man knows, you don't prove your worth through pursuit, you prove it through presence. The one who stays composed while others wrestle with their own emotions always wins, not through revenge, but through self-mastery. So let her dance in the illusion of moving on. Time will do what you can't. Because one day, when her staged happiness fades, she'll see what real peace looks like and realize it was standing in front of her all along. That's when she'll understand. Pretending you've moved on isn't healing. It's just postponing the truth. 3. Time doesn't heal her. It exposes her truth. Brother, they say time heals all wounds, but when a woman disappears after a breakup, time doesn't heal her. It unmasks her. The longer the silence stretches, the louder her truth becomes. She isn't at peace. She's just avoiding the very emotions she doesn't know how to face. She thinks that blocking you, deleting pictures and erasing traces of you from her life will make the feelings fade. But time doesn't erase what's real. It amplifies it. It pulls everything buried back to the surface, piece by piece, until even the strongest facade begins to crack. In the beginning, she convinces herself that distance will starve her emotions. She believes if she cuts off contact long enough, the attachment will die. But what she doesn't realize is that emotions don't dissolve in silence. They ferment. Every week that passes, the illusion of peace weakens. A random song plays and suddenly she's back in your passenger seat, singing along. The scent of a stranger's cologne on a crowded street turns her head before she even realizes why. A restaurant, a movie, a memory. They all start reminding her that she didn't close a chapter. She just slammed it shut without reading the last page. Then comes the real conflict. Her pride tells her not to reach out, to stay composed, to keep the upper hand. But her heart, her body, and her instincts all betray her. She starts checking when you were last online. She lingers on your profile longer than she admits, wondering if your calm means you've finally let her go. And deep down, she begins to feel the difference between moving on and feeling numb. She might even mistake that numbness for strength until it starts to hurt again. Because real detachment isn't built on suppression, it's built on acceptance. You see, brother, her silence isn't a sign of strength. It's confusion disguised as composure. She's not detached. She's stuck somewhere between missing you and refusing to face why. But time has a way of stripping away every defense, every illusion, every excuse. It reveals what was real and exposes what was pride. That's why you must never chase what time is already working to uncover. Don't rush to fix her confusion or to prove your worth. Just stay still and let time speak for you. Because the truth always surfaces. It might take weeks, months, or longer, but it always finds a way. And when it does, it will echo your name in the quiet moments she thought she could fill with noise. That's when she'll finally understand time never healed her. It simply showed her what she tried so hard not to feel. And that realization, brother, will hit louder than any words you could ever say. 4. When your silence starts speaking louder. Brother, here's the paradox most men never understand. When you stop trying to be heard, you start being felt. Silence, when carried with conviction, becomes its own language. It doesn't shout, it doesn't plead, it doesn't explain, yet it says everything. In a world obsessed with reaction, your stillness becomes impossible to ignore. She used to know exactly how to reach you. One cold reply and you'd chase for clarity. One hint of distance and you'd pour your heart out, trying to fix what wasn't broken. But not this time. This time, you didn't argue, you didn't prove, you didn't plead. You simply disappeared into calm. And that calm, brother, speaks louder than any apology or explanation ever could. It tells her you've reclaimed control, not over her, but over yourself. Your silence unsettles her because it removes the script she depended on. Every day you say nothing, you create space. And in that space, her curiosity grows. She begins to question, has he really let me go? Did I matter less than I thought? The longer you stay centered, the more your absence becomes a presence she can't escape. It's not about playing games or making her chase. It's about no longer bleeding your energy where it isn't valued. Understand this: silence backed by self-discipline is not weakness, it's power. You're not ignoring her. You're mastering yourself. You're showing her what peace looks like when it's no longer shared, when it belongs entirely to you. And that disturbs her pride, because she remembers a man who used to react. Now she sees a man who chooses not to. That's the essence of Stoic strength, conscious restraint, the ability to feel deeply but respond wisely. The moment you realize that silence is not absence, but awareness, you stop needing validation, and that's when the energy shifts completely. Because when your peace speaks louder than her pride, she'll finally listen, not to your words, but to the silence that reminds her of the man she can no longer move. And that, brother, is when your stillness becomes her storm. 5. The void. She tried to escape begins to grow. Brother, what begins as freedom soon becomes a silence she can't escape. At first, she feels lighter. No texts to answer, no expectations to meet, no one holding her accountable to the love she once took for granted. It feels like relief, but relief built on avoidance never lasts. As the weeks fade into months, that lightness starts to hollow out. The laughter feels forced, the nights out feel repetitive, and the quiet moments, they start to echo. She fills her days with distractions, new friends, new routines, maybe even new men. She convinces herself that she's just exploring, just living. But every distraction is a detour from the truth. None of it fills the space you once occupied, because connection isn't something you can replace. It's something that either lives in you or it doesn't. And deep down, she knows it. That's when the void starts to grow. Slow, quiet, creeping. It doesn't roar, it whispers. It reminds her that something's missing, something only your energy used to bring. The real conflict isn't between her and you anymore. It's between her pride and her peace. Pride tells her to hold her ground, to never reach out first. Pride says, if he cared, he'd break the silence. But peace, that faint and honest voice inside her, whispers a different truth. that her silence isn't protecting her anymore, it's punishing her. And the longer she resists it, the louder that void becomes. She might check your page at 2 a.m., pretending it's just curiosity. She might glance at your name in her messages, not daring to type it. But what she's really doing is measuring her emptiness against your calm. She sees you centered, focused, unbothered, and that comparison cuts deeper than she'll ever admit, because your peace highlights her chaos. Here's the Stoic truth, brother. You never chase what's still running from itself. Let her feel the absence she created. Let the emptiness teach her what words never could. Because silence has a strange way of punishing the pretender before it ever hurts the honest man. And that void she ran from, the one she tried to fill with noise, with people, with pride, will eventually become the only voice she can't silence. That's when she'll finally realize that escaping you was never the answer. Escaping herself was. 6. Your absence turns into her mirror. Brother, absence has a strange way of reflecting the truth that words can't. When she looks into the mirror of your silence, she doesn't just see the man she lost, she sees herself more clearly than ever before. In the beginning, she tried to believe your absence was indifference, that your silence meant you'd given up. But as time stretches on, that story stops making sense, because your calm doesn't feel like resentment. It feels like peace, and peace has a way of exposing chaos. She begins to notice the contrast. You're not chasing, not reacting, not waiting. Your energy has shifted, focused, centered, grounded. While she's been replaying the past in her mind, you've been building your future. You've stopped talking about growth and started living it. And that difference doesn't just catch her attention, it unsettles her. It forces her to ask the question she's been avoiding. If he's at peace without me, was I ever the source of his happiness? Or was he the one who brought peace into mine? That's the moment her silence stops being about you and starts being about her. Every memory of you becomes a reflection. Every reminder becomes a lesson. She sees your restraint and realizes how often she mistook kindness for weakness. She sees your discipline and understands how much effort it takes to choose composure over reaction. And while she's learning that lesson in private, you're living the truth in public, quietly, steadily, without trying to prove a thing. You don't need to post your progress or announce your peace. You've already said everything you needed to by walking away with dignity. Every act of self-improvement, every boundary you keep, every decision made from clarity instead of emotion, it all speaks louder than any message could. Remember, brother, your silence isn't withdrawal, it's reflection. It's life showing her who you've become and what she lost. Because one day, as she stares at the version of herself that remains unchanged while you keep evolving, she'll realize the truth. You weren't the storm in her life. You were the calm after it. And now, your absence has become the mirror she can't look away from, reflecting not just the man she let go, but the balance she may never find again. 7. Your growth becomes her regret. Brother, this is where the story turns. The man who once questioned his worth has become the man who no longer needs anyone's approval. The same silence that once felt heavy has now become your foundation. You've poured your pain into progress, your confusion into clarity, your heartbreak into discipline. You stopped asking, why did she leave? And started asking, how can I grow? And that shift, that quiet transformation, is exactly what begins to echo back to her. She starts to see it in ways she can't ignore. The calm in your tone, the strength in your posture, the ease in your eyes, the life you're building without her. She thought your silence meant defeat, that walking away would leave you shattered. But instead, it became the soil where you rebuilt yourself stronger. And now, That growth has turned her silence against her. It no longer gives her control, it gives her clarity. That's when the first signs appear. Maybe she likes one of your posts. Maybe she sends a short message. Hey, just checking in. It looks harmless, casual, but it carries a deeper meaning. It's not curiosity, brother. It's realization. She's realizing the man she left behind isn't the one standing here now. You've changed. You've evolved. You've become the version of yourself she never believed you could be. And that recognition cuts deep because it forces her to face what she lost. Not just you, but the version of herself that felt safe beside you. But here's the key. Stay composed. Don't react with pride. Don't feed your ego with her attention. This moment isn't about proving anything. It's about living everything you've learned. The Stoic truth is simple. The man who masters himself doesn't chase admiration. He attracts it through peace. Growth is the loudest revenge, and you've already said everything by moving forward with purpose. Your evolution will stir her emotions, but it's not your job to comfort the storm you didn't create. Stay steady in your stillness. Keep building, keep shining, keep becoming. Because when a man rises from pain with grace, his energy changes, and that change doesn't beg to be noticed. It simply is. And one day, she'll look at your growth and realize the truth she's been running from all along. She didn't lose the man she used to have. She lost the man he became without her. 8. When she finally breaks the silence. Brother, silence always has a breaking point. The same distance she once used to feel powerful slowly becomes the very thing that humbles her. In the beginning, she believed that pulling away would make her stronger, that ignoring you would make you chase. But time has a way of reversing roles, because eventually, the silence she used as a weapon becomes the mirror that reflects her regret. When she finally reaches out, it won't be because she suddenly remembered you. It'll be because she finally felt what you felt months ago. The weight of absence, the sting of uncertainty, the quiet realization that what she thought was freedom was really loss in disguise. She'll type out something simple, maybe just a, "Hey, how have you been?" pretending it's casual, pretending she's not holding her breath while waiting for your reply. But brother, behind that message lives everything she never said. The confusion, the nostalgia, the ache. What she's really asking is, are you still the man I left? Or have you become someone I can't reach anymore? This is where your strength is tested one final time. The old version of you would have rushed to respond, eager to fill the silence. But the man you've become, he doesn't need to. You understand now that peace isn't found in someone's return. It's found in your ability to stay centered no matter who leaves. You've mastered the hardest Stoic discipline there is, emotional detachment without bitterness. You've turned silence into strength, pain into purpose, distance into growth. When she breaks the silence, don't let your ego speak. Let your peace do the talking. You don't owe her explanations, validation, or a performance of how much you've changed. Your calmness will say more than words ever could. She'll sense it, the difference in your tone, your energy, your focus. You no longer orbit around her. You've built your own gravity, and that's when it hits her, that you were never the one who lost control, she was. That's when her curiosity turns into reflection, and her reflection turns into regret. Because the truth is, when time tests both hearts, the one that stayed calm always wins. So if she finally reaches out, don't see it as victory. See it as confirmation that your stillness spoke louder than her silence ever could. You didn't just survive her distance, brother. You transformed through it, and that transformation will always echo louder than her words. Brother, let me leave you with this. Silence is not a punishment. It's a classroom. Everything we've talked about, her disappearance, her pride, her confusion, your calm, it all leads to one lesson. You're not here to chase what walks away. You're here to master yourself in the space they leave behind. When a woman goes silent, most men panic. They break no contact. They plead for closure. They hand back the power she's testing them with. But the truth is, her silence was never about you. It was about her need for control. And when you stop reacting, you teach her something life rarely does: that peace cannot be manipulated. You've seen how the illusion of moving on cracks over time, how the void grows, how your absence becomes the mirror that reveals her truth. That's the transformation. The silence that once felt like loss becomes your greatest ally, because it gave you distance, perspective, and strength. The real message, brother, is this: don't let anyone's confusion pull you out of your clarity. Stay still, but not stagnant. Build quietly. Evolve daily. Speak less and mean more. Your worth was never measured by how fast someone comes back. It's proven by how deeply you grow while they're gone. So when she finally breaks the silence, don't see it as victory. See it as confirmation that stillness wins where noise fails. The Stoic path is not about coldness, it's about control. You control your energy, your emotions, your focus. And once you master that, no silence can ever shake you again. Brother, if this resonated with you, own it. Like this video so more men can rise above confusion and reclaim their strength. Subscribe to Stoic Station for daily guidance on power, presence, and emotional mastery. And in the comments, write this as your declaration: calm conquers chaos. Because silence alone doesn't change your life, discipline does. The moment you stop waiting for her and start leading yourself, everything shifts. Her silence no longer defines you. Your stillness does. And when a man learns to move in silence, to grow without noise, and to let peace become his presence, that's when, brother, he stops chasing closure and starts becoming the lesson.